In this segment called Hella Political, because we look at the intersection of fitness with all things, I get to talk about transgenderism today. Yay! With regards to your mom. Oh! She's not a real woman. Oh! How were you born? I don't know. Out of your dad's urethra. Oh! Your dad's a hyena. Oh! Female hyenas have giant clitorises. Oh!
No, I can't. I'm not gonna owe that one. That's where I draw the line,
dude. So the world governing body for swimming has dropped the absolute hammer on a swimmer with a hammer. Hey, no, this has been in the news, and the swimmer whose name I didn't bother to memorize because it's not even that important. All we need to know is a transgender swimmer won at least one NCAA championship, and then it's arguable whether or not she threw the other ones, but she had, the potential seemingly to win multiple NCAA championships, but after the controversy of her first medal, it's debatable that she threw the other matches, right? But regardless, it opens up this question. Obviously, it's an ethical, moral question of whether it's fair to everyone. It opens up scientific questions of gender differences in sports performance, and to relate it back to me bringing up that definition of woke, let's start with the intuitive response to that. I think the intuitive response that most people have is, well, if women's times in swimming are across the board slower than men's, throughout history, when you're looking at elite swimmers, one would assume that there are gender-based performance differences. That statement, that intuitive statement, has become a very taboo thing to say and repeat. So, therefore, our definition of wokeness earlier, it's taking unintuitive stances and saying, if you don't believe that, you're a bad person, right? It's not I'm going to convince you why, and I haven't heard that compelling of an argument other than a governing body might make a rule that a transgender, athlete can comply with, but we're seeing, and I don't worry about this stuff. People kind of get outraged about it if you think, transgender male to female swimmers or any athlete shouldn't compete with females because they have an advantage. I don't buy into the notion that it needs to be this like there's already enough outrage, even from just her teammates. And that's who I kind of empathize with. Is like, that would feel bad if she's knocking you out of your varsity spot or you're finishing second place like that. I empathize with those people who I would consider to be the victims of this unfairness, right? And obviously everyone's still trying to work it out and find the best solution possible. We are in the infancy of even dealing with this kind of stuff. But I do think with regards to swimming, there's a sort of easy solution, which is you can just compete with the men. You can compete in an open division, which the governing body is proposing to make. Because, look, I used to swim competitively, and I didn't ever think about winning so much. Like, I won races, but that was the secondary goal. The first goal is to beat your times, and that's what I think most swimmers would tell you is, like, you want to improve as a swimmer, as an athlete, and maybe that's a different demarcation when you transition and now you have a new baseline and you can improve from there. You're never going to be as fast as you were when you had testosterone pumping through your veins, but you can still improve and find a joy in that outside of, asserting an unfair advantage over people. Even with the fighting stuff, I remember seeing the last transgender fight that we saw, the biological female almost won, actually. And I was like, isn't that that's a good thing for, for women because you can stand toe to toe, even in a fight, even in something where you're said to have all these disadvantages from bone density and reaction time and, just the mechanics of your body as a female aren't designed to make you hit as hard or absorb punches as well as anybody who has the bone structure of a man. So I think there's always different angles to look at it, but I think the broad consensus now is one of fairness, and it's not disqualifying anybody from competing. It's just going like, hey, man, maybe let's not knock off these people who I think the observer, the casual observer up and down the board, unless you have an ideology that says otherwise, says, I don't know if I like that.